My buddy Josh is giving you live free training on how to find money and cross sell when you're talking to people, right? This is super powerful. We're giving away this for free, and you could have charged for this. So I'm sorry that you lost out on some money, but you're going to help some people today. Okay.
We'll make
So
it up somewhere else, as long as we
that's
can
right.
help somebody.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CA Power Players Podcast every Tuesday live at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Today's episode is with none other than the Josh Burns. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm good, buddy. This guy is taking over Mississippi one day at a time. I want to add a caveat real quick, though, Josh, for our audience that is listening. When I got started in the business, I remember traveling with my dad to like vacation or something, and he had all these. We were with Mutual back then. My dad had all these reports printed out. He was analyzing everybody's numbers, and I was like, man, we were talking about. He was like, when you get in the business, you're gonna make, you're gonna make $100,000. I'm like, dude, I'm like, I was like 18 or 19 at the time, right? And he said, this is the dude you're chasing. And I looked down the paper, and the person at the top, his name was Josh Burns. That's you.
That's me.
Dude, I've been chasing you ever since.
A long time. Roles reverse. I'm chasing you guys now.
There we go. We go. Dude, well, you gave me something to shoot for, right? How important is that in life where you have somebody to shoot for, somebody to chase, somebody to help you think bigger, and somebody to really kind of pave the road along the way?
That's huge, especially in this industry, because there's always so many distractions that come your way. There's so much negativity that comes in this industry. For me personally, it was your dad who was the one that I idolized and wanted to be like. He's today, I mean, this is almost 14 years later. He's still my go-to and my mentor. So, but yes, awesome. If you don't have anybody, you've got to find somebody to hook your change to and go with.
Dude, no doubt, buddy. Appreciate that. One of the things I loved and that you taught me and that you do really well is you lead with Medicare. You sell a ton of Medicare, a lot of med subs, now a lot of Medicare Advantage as well. And you are phenomenal at finding money and cross-selling. And I actually had one of the, I remember being taught your money bag presentation back in like 2011 or 2012. And
it was, it'd be about right.
Yeah, and it works, man. It works. And do you need to use it anymore to find it, or not really?
I don't need it anymore. It's sort of, I've done it for so long and do it in my sleep now. But in the beginning, I used it just because it helped me stay on track and on point for what I wanted my conversation to be like after the med sup was sold.
Yes.
But I used the med sup I even had a med sup presentation to get me to the conversation about long-term care. So that's actually what led me into doing the money bag presentation to do it that way. So I still do it that way. I still let Medicare be first, long-term care becomes second, because then I can find dollars behind the long-term care conversation.
Nice.
Without the person knowing I'm asking for dollars.
Yes. Yes. And what's your favorite question to identify some of that?
So if you get past, obviously we're into the long-term care conversation without getting too deep. Usually they've always given me 3 reasons, right, on how they want to take care of themselves. They've always said, well, our kids will take care of this, right? Yeah. We know that's not really going to happen. 2, they say, we'll take care of each other. Or 3, we'll self-fund it, right? So they'll pay for it themselves. So that's the one I'm looking for. So when they say that, I'll always pick on the guy first. And I said, Mr. Jones, I said, since you guys wanted to self-fund everything, so we'll pick on you first. So if you had to go into a nursing home today, assuming it was a $50,000 a year facility, how many years could you self-fund it? So shut up and let me answer the question. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever the number is. To me, that tells me it feels 4 years, they got $200,000 sitting somewhere.
Correct.
So then I asked, the follow-up question is, so let's just assume you were greedy and you lived all 4 years and then passed away. How many years can now Miss Jones self-fund her long-term care.
Because you
So
think
they
they
give
were
you
leaving
another
some.
number.
Do
What's
you think
that?
they were leaving some money out, or they're going to use maybe they're going to use life insurance proceeds at that point? Like, walk us through what your thought process is.
My thought process is they're always going to withhold information from you, especially if you're just now meeting them, right? Because they don't
Yes.
know you. They're still getting to know you, still getting to trust you. So for me, I'm always just trying to see if I can peel back a little bit more of that onion to find out where we really are with the numbers. And you would be really surprised as how much money certain people actually have that they don't actually disclose to you. So
That's funny. So that's really smart because most agents would have stopped at the beginning. And what's cool is, guys, we're literally giving you. My buddy Josh is giving you live free training on how to find money and cross sell when you're talking to people. Right? This is super powerful. We're giving away this for free, and you could have charged for this. So I'm sorry that you lost out on some money, but you're going to help some people today. Okay,
we'll make
so
it up somewhere else as long as we
that's
can
right.
help somebody.
That's right. Walk through your story. How long have you been in business?
Man, I've been in the business, I guess almost 13 years now, since 2008.
Yep.
Not to go too deep, but before this, I owned and operated martial arts schools. That was my thing. I just knew I was going to retire old and gray headed and, be the grandmaster.
Were you a
And
sen- is
then
it, were you
just
the
some
sen-
life events happened.
were you the sensei of
Uh,
Mississippi? The sensei of Mississippi?
No, nowhere close. But had a lot of fun doing that. Life events sort of pushed me in a different direction. It's actually my wife today who got me into the life insurance business.
Wow.
It was one of those things though. That was the last thing on my mind to be an insurance guy, like knocking on your door, right? Hey, tell me about your life insurance program.
Yep.
And didn't realize really how deep and involved this world is and how impactful we can be when we do everything correctly, how we can really impact families moving forward. So that's just kind of it. And then fell with Mutual of Omaha somewhere around 2010 and really fell in love with it. Sort of really got my feet on the ground and really started running and kind of find my wheelhouse, which for me, it's always been the Medicare side. I love doing the Medicare, which to me, I get more appreciation from that and
Why?
being able to all the cross sales that actually come with it too. Is that to me, that's the fun part.
Yep. Yep. And why Medicare for you? I mean, yeah, there's the cross sell opportunities, but
So why Medicare? Because I don't like working past 5 o'clock.
okay.
So if I work
Or you don't like
Medicare, I can
starting over
work.
every day?
No, I don't like starting over every day. So that's my biggest thing too. So even the agents that I'm working with now that come out of the final expense background or the traditional term life, I teach them how to look at Medicare as different. You can still sell your life, you can still sell whatever, but let that Medicare be the door opener for everything else. But on the backside, you're building a residual book of business that not only will provide you year-over-year income, but it gives you something to sell down the road. It gives you a book of business to sell if you ever want to sell it.
Exactly. Yeah, super powerful. And you're not starting over every day, right? You're building something
Correct.
that you own.
Right. It can't be taken away from you unless
That's
they
right.
die or they another agent takes them. So
Yes, which is super powerful. My electrician's texting me right now. He's at my house trying to hook up my new mobile charger for my Porsche Taycan electric car. I didn't even know it was electric when I first bought it. How crazy is
oh
that?
wow.
Yeah, it's nuts. How important is it in business to move with speed?
It's extremely important to move faster than. So back in the day, we probably didn't have to move that fast, right? We were probably moving faster than we thought we were. But I think in today's times, it is extremely important to move fast and implement your plans, execute your plans in a more short period of time. So instead of a 12-month calendar year, you make it into a like a 90-day plan. So because if you're not doing it, somebody else is out there already ahead of you.
Yes, I love that. And so walk us through. So when you were at Mutual before you went out and were independent and now working with Secure Insurance Group, What did your day to day look like? What were some of the things that in your first several years of insurance that you did to separate yourself from other people, because you were one of the top people in that agency in the country, and even became a district sales manager, helping other people be successful when a lot of people are failing? Why were you able to find success in your early years?
I guess for the early years for me, I think I did everything else like everybody else was doing, right? We did the mail outs, we did the calls, we called the old leagues, the new leagues, the orphans and all that good stuff that certain agencies actually have. For me, when I was able to get an appointment and set that appointment, I took every opportunity to make it the best appointment.
Yes.
Didn't rush an appointment. So I always allowed at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. So I may not run, 10 appointments in a day. I may only run 5, but those 5, I can make just as much money in those 5 as somebody else may have did in 10 or 12 appointments. Because I extract everything, all information while I'm there at the kitchen table.
Does that,
For me.
yeah, where does that discipline and that mindset come from to do that? Because most people are just like policy peddling, right? They're just grabbing it and running.
Yeah. For me, I was broke. So when I came there, I literally was broke. I had nothing. So for me, I had to take every opportunity to obviously do the right thing for the client, but to figure out how to make as much money in that day as I could. So for me, I got to a point where I knew how many appointments I could run in a week. I knew how many would be kept appointments. But then I also said, okay, I need to make X number of dollars per week. So for me, then it was a stretch.
Yeah.
I said $1,000 a week in commissions. I was like, man, I'd be great if I could do that. And it wasn't 3 weeks into the business, I was averaging $1,800 a week in sales. I was okay. Well, I got to increase this. So I kept increasing it to the point where I was at, $5,000 and $6,000 weeks is what my goal was. And when you learn how to cross sell and you learn how to find the money, those $5,000 and $6,000 weeks come really easy. They become more like days, right? You can sell a couple annuities or some 401k rollovers, on securities license too. So get that a little bit deeper conversation with some people. So I mean, now when I have those cross sell conversations, we're looking at $20,000, $30,000 cases versus your just a $200 med sup or a $550 MA plan with an HI on the backside of it. So it's bigger conversations now.
Yes. Based on this, what we're going to start? You and I are going to do a retreat together, and we're going to call it Money Mastery and Martial Arts. Okay, we're going to teach money, how to find the money in the morning, and how to kick some in the afternoon.
Hey man, that'd be awesome.
That'd be good. That'd be fun.
Awesome.
I need to learn that. Who else is watching this? Okay, and jump in comments. You're like, dude, I would like that. I need to learn that too. I'd hang out with Josh and Cody for a couple of days. Okay, let us know. I'm actually curious. We'll jump down in Mississippi and do the thing. If someone out there is struggling, what do you think they need to start doing differently than whatever they're currently doing?
I'm going to tell you to start with your mindset, man. If your mind's not right, you're not going to do good at all, right? Because it'll set your whole day up for either a good day or a bad day.
Yes.
So I always tell everybody, start with your mindset first. But then the other thing is too, if you got 10 appointments on the book, if you got 1, right, you still got to have the right mindset walking into every one of those appointments. So for me, if I woke up, and as well as I do, Cody, if you wake up and there's no appointments on the book for that day, you're unemployed.
Yeah.
Let's just be real. You're unemployed. So for me, if I didn't have anything on the books, then I would comb through the old leads, some leads that I've had for, a year. I'd be smiling and dialing those leads all over again. If I would go back through some old notes that I had for some existing clients that said, hey, these guys, we did the med sup, we did the drug plan, we talked about X, Y, or Z, but we never executed those.
Mm-hmm.
I would call them back up and say, hey, we talked about, these things. How about let's kind of sit back down and kind of refresh that, see where we are with that, see if you guys want to move forward. Because I'm still cross selling stuff that I sold 3 years ago.
Mm,
So I uncover everything on the table day one, but that doesn't mean I cross sell it all today.
right.
Right? Allows me the opportunity to kind of go back to that client to be able to keep my touches with that particular client. And for me, it just builds a deeper relationship. But that's what I would say do is go back and remember how we all got in this business, just the basics. It's sitting down and calling and building those
Yes.
relationships.
Yes. What are some similarities between martial arts and insurance that you brought over from martial arts and had easier success because of it?
I think the martial arts industry, believe it or not, it's like $1 billion a year industry, if you believe it or not. I mean, there's tons of money that's being made year over year in the martial arts industry.
Wow.
So when we would sell our packages, right, we called it script and ease. We had a script for everything. So if I met you on the street, I would introduce myself to you. I'd tell you I own the Martial Arts Academy down the street. Love to invite you to take a free black belt leadership class. You want a Tuesday or Wednesday, which day is better for you, morning or afternoon? I mean, it was the same thing. It was all scripted, believe it or not. I'm in my martial arts uniform, barefoot, and meeting people at McAllister's, which is right next door to my school at the time. But it was all done that way. So, and then when they actually came in and sat down for their lesson, it was all still script and ease from that point too, right? So everything had its purpose. So I think when I came into the insurance world, that was really good practice for me to sit down and have a controlled conversation to be able to pull all that information out from an individual. Because it's no different from the martial arts. When I was doing that, you had little Johnny in there and you got mom and dad sitting over here and little Johnny's in his martial arts uniform and he's kicking and hollering for his first little class. You're still extracting information from the parents, right? To find out what their touch points are. Is Johnny being bullied? Is Johnny just, he's got too much aggression? Or is he a bully? So you find all that stuff and then you figure out how to reposition it to show them how your program will fix Johnny's issues. No different in the insurance world, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's got an issue. We just got to figure out what that issue is. We've got the products and the solutions to fix it. So it was kind of a no-brainer.
That's right. What's some of the things you're doing successfully in your business now to prospect and get in front of people, like outside of AEP, like just the rest of the year?
So outside of AEP, I mean, obviously, we're a pretty big referral operation, just in the way that we treat our peoples. We have obviously a little referral program, not much, but a little referral program. But I think people are actually giving us the referrals just because how we treat them and how we help them from there. But outside of that, I'm still a little old school. I still buy some direct mail leads. We do. We're doing a lot with the seminars still.
Yeah.
Which I still love doing those. They're a lot of fun. The other thing that we did, so anybody out there listening, we actually partnered with United Healthcare. They're the broker manager actually reached out to us and we started that relationship. So now what we're doing is moving forward with them is he's actually helped us create some relationships with dentists. They have a dentist referral program. It's a pretty cool program how it works. So for after AEP season this year, we're doing a lot under the community events with the DSNPs. So they're actually helping us with all that. So United actually has a platform where you can order all these kits and these banners and these tablecloths and all this stuff that are free that UHC pays for as long as it's for DSNPs. So he's going to help us with community events, moving that forward for next year. So we're pretty excited about the first 2 quarters of next year, just on that one piece right there.
That's awesome. What are some of the other?
And that's free. Sorry, Cody, I didn't mean to cut you off. And
that's
free. So that's free things that they can do. Is
name those again.
The dentist is is one of the things that they got going on there. The other thing is, so the way the dentist thing works is so I've got some guys that are messing with me right now. We're on a live podcast, by the way.
Yeah, so, tell them to get out of here. You're gonna kick them in the nose or something. Okay.
So but the way the dentist works, there's actually brochures that they do.
Hey, it would
Basically, you
actually
have
be
to go
better. It would be phenomenal if they would come in and you would demonstrate some martial arts on them, so they would never mess with you again, and we'd all learn how to
But
just
they're
totally
writing a little bit
destroy.
of business right now, so I don't want any broke hands, right? So we
Got
got
it.
to keep that
Got it.
going.
Got it.
But yeah, so it's the dentist market number one. So all you got to do, and for UHC, I'm just picking on them. They
Yeah.
actually have a portal you can go into, and you can actually download the entire list of dentists within their network. And so you basically just pick your area that you want to go into. You're going to go in and introduce yourself to them, tell them who you are, let them know why you're there, and all you want to do is be able to set up a lunch and learn with the staff and the dentist, just to be able to share their program and show them what they're able to get. Because their program and all the other ones are the same way too, but the dentists with D-SNPs are able to bill the full dentist benefit. So if it's a $3,000 benefit for like us in Mississippi, then that dentist can bill all $3,000 to the client under UHC, right? So it's a benefit for the dentist. If he's got 100 decent or Medicaid clients and he can figure that stuff out, all of a sudden he's got $300,000 worth of revenue that he can make that year.
Yes.
The second thing is the community events that we can do. And there's even laundromats, believe it or not. There's a whole formulary to just go set up a community event at a laundromat. There was a guy here, he unfortunately passed away, but in 3 months, he made over 40 grand sitting in laundromats selling D-SNPs.
What?
Yes. So we're actually piggybacking that whole idea, and we've actually got all the laundromats lined up for the first 2 quarters next year. Laundromats.
What?
So you take little Tide Pods, right? So you take Tide Pods, believe it or not, little kids, little baggies, and you put Tide Pods in there, put little business cards in there, and then as these people come in, you just hand them a little gift bag with Tide Pods in there, right? Help them save their money because they're having to spend money on laundry detergent. So anyway, we got all kind of fun stuff lined up for after AEP next year. I'll let you guys know how that works.
Dude, that's awesome, man. That's cool. Well, when are you going to set aside some time and teach people everything you know, not just martial arts, but your insurance ways as well?
I struggle with that now, Cody. I'd love to be able to do it. And sometimes I feel as though I'm not where I need to be financially, number one. Number two, it's still in my head. Am I really that good to really sit down and kind of help somebody move to the next level, because you do see all this stuff around, everybody else is doing things and you're like, I'm nowhere close to that. But I do struggle with that. I'm hoping next year that I can really kind of, maybe through your guidance or whatever, that we can kind of help me figure that part of it out.
Yes. And the answer is yes, by the way. You are vastly impressive and knowledgeable enough to help others crush it like you have. There's no doubt about that, right?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, seriously. I'm curious too. You had one seminar, your first seminar that my dad was there for. Talk about that. Wasn't that like a year and a half or 2 years ago or something?
Yeah, so I just got back. So I had been with another agency for about 4.5 years, made a decision to join back with you guys, come back and be an independent. So it was in September 12th was the seminar. I won't forget that. It was like September 12th.
Wow.
We were in Memphis. So I did a 3,800 piece mail out for that Memphis area up there. We had 125 registrations off of a 3,800 piece mail out.
What kind of percentage return is that?
I have no idea. It was a lot.
125 divided by 3,800. Is that what you said?
Yes.
3.28%.
Yes.
Wow.
It was huge. It was crazy. So I called your dad out because we were doing it at the Golden Corral. The Golden Corral can only really hold 40 people comfortably.
Was it one seminar?
Your dad, huh?
Was it one
seminar? Yes. 1 day seminar. So I called your dad. I was
like one period. It wasn't like multiple times. It was like one.
One. It was on a Tuesday from 6 to 8. So I called up your dad. So we actually, so I said, I called him up. I called him when it got to like 92. And I said, Brian, I said, are you sure we don't need to like split this up into 2 days? He goes, no. He said, it'll be okay. He said, we'll figure it out. I was like, okay. So then all of a
He
sudden
hadn't
we were up
seen
to
the room yet, though.
125. So I called him again.
Yeah.
Huh?
He hadn't seen the room yet, though.
And no, he has not seen the room. I kept trying to tell him, I said, it's not going to hold these people. So fast forward, long story short, we had 75 people actually show up for that seminar. The room, you couldn't put anybody else in the room. We had all the tables were full. There was the walls were lined with chairs. And then right outside the door, we kept the doors open. And then the whole, I don't know, another 400 square feet was full of people out there. And your dad was yelling through the whole presentation just to try to make sure those people could hear it. It was crazy. We're actually still selling people today off of that seminar.
And what did it cost to put that one seminar on?
So the mail out, you might as well figure the mail out was what, then it was like 55 cents of mail outs. We did 1,300, whatever that is.
Yeah.
The food tip and all that was another $1,500. So
like $3,500.
Roughly.
$3,500. How many policies you think you've written off that?
We sold on that one. So we didn't sell them all in the beginning. Like I said, we're still selling some. We probably came close to, policy wise, we're probably close to 100 policies just off of that one seminar.
That's how you make $35. That's how you acquire a policy for $35. That's pretty sick.
That's right.
That's crazy.
So we did another one last October. Did a seminar last October. We didn't have it like 32 people in that one. But we netted 48,000 in commissions off of that one.
What? Jeez Louise. Okay, so one thing you just mentioned was you did one seminar. You had like, I don't know, you said like 30 or 40 register. You did 48,000 in commissions?
Yes, we did. I forgot how many actually. I think we picked up probably 12 just subs out of the deal, but I picked up about 1.2 million in assets out of that seminar.
Wow. What do you think you spent to put that seminar on?
That one I didn't spend, but probably $2,000 on that one, $2,200.
Wow. $2,000. How to spend $2,000 and collect $48,000 in commissions. That's strong.
Yes.
I love that. Well, dude, I mean, you're in closing, what would you like to leave some agents with? We get a lot of new agents that watch our channel struggling, not where they want to be. They're learning from people like you. They're wanting to get to your level. They're wanting to spend $2,000 and get 50, right? What would you leave them with as we kind of close this thing out?
Man, I would leave them with you got to get in there and get nitty gritty with it, right? Got to roll your sleeves up every single day. I tell them too, it's okay to get no's. So the more no's you get, the more yeses you're going to get on the backside of the no's.
Yeah.
And I'll also tell them too, and I've seen this before, insurance is one of those things you can't do part-time. You've got to be all in or you're all out. And I think that's what made a difference for me, even though, when I say broke, I was broke trying to do this business in the very beginning, but I never gave up and I didn't look outside of this world, right? So I stayed focused every single day to make it happen in this particular world. So I would say that. I would also tell them, if they don't, for me, I've got a Brian Askins as my mentor. If you don't have a Brian Askins, you need to find one, whether it's Cody or anybody else. You've got to have somebody that you can tie yourself to.
Yeah. Or you, dude, right? I mean, you're
yeah, if they want to ask me any questions on a one-off, I'd be happy to answer anybody's questions for sure.
I love that. You want to share like maybe an email and like an office phone or something?
Yeah, the office number is 601-273-3690. And then my email is just my name, Josh Burns at capstone, CAPSTONE, IFG.com.
Boom. Capstone IFG. Josh Burns at capstoneifg.com. I love it, buddy. Dude, appreciate you being on today. Okay. Thank you
Cody,
so
thank
much.
you very much, man. I
Dude,
appreciate it.
I love this guy. Okay, reach out to him, learn from him. We're going to keep having power players just like Josh Burns on the podcast. Thanks for listening. Every single Tuesday, we drop it at 8 a.m., the CA Power Players podcast. See you on the next one. If you love this video, you know I got another one that you're going to love. I got a video just to your right here. Click on that. It's going to be amazing. You're going to love it. And I'll see you in there.
Yeah, my exact thing is, if you're not running 30 appointments a week.
Yeah, you don't relate it to a dollar
part-time.
amount. You relate it
It's appointments.
to an appointments, yes.
Yeah, and the same thing. You know, I did this